Good morning, fellow traders. It is Thursday, June the 26th. Happy Thursday. Time to dive into today's trade plan. Take a minute to kind of talk through yesterday. Yesterday, obviously, I had a pretty rough day. ES and the NASDAQ, both kind of grinding days. Not a big move and just more of a choppy, grindy day. Both NQ and on ES. ES very much so, very, very choppy. We couldn't break down through this area at the 6140s. Definitely a key area of support currently. NASDAQ, the low of day from yesterday is sitting right here at the 390s. That 385, 390 area will definitely become a level. Obviously today, this low of day from yesterday will change, and then we'll mark this as a level because that is definitely a key support area. Interestingly enough, though, Dow Jones, kind of a sliding down trending day yesterday, but on the Russell, we had a major sell-off yesterday, major sell-off. And it's interesting to me how I marked on all my charts the Monday high. Monday was the breakout, and after Monday is when things really started to skyrocket across all the indices. And this yesterday, we pulled on the Russell, we pulled right down to the Monday high, and we bounced off that cleanly. Very bullish move. Very bullish move. And my idea has been that if we lose that Monday high, we're going back down into the chop range that we've been in. So interesting how on the Russell, this has definitely pushed higher. On the other indices, we have not come close. Monday's high is sitting below here on the Dow Jones. It is sitting way down here on ES, and it is sitting way down here on the NASDAQ. So it has been a bit of a grind, and there's definitely seems to be a bulls and bears fight. Are we going to keep pushing this market higher on the NASDAQ and on ES? Here's where I think this is coming into play. I think the Dow Jones is one of the reasons that we're not seeing this thing continue to push easily to the upside. The reason is this big daily 200 moving average sitting above price. So we have not been able to break that on the Dow Jones. We tried back here in June 11th, a couple of weeks ago, and we tried again this week, and we have failed to break that. If we break that today, if this breaks on the Dow Jones and we can finally get above and hold above the daily 200 moving average on the Dow Jones, I think that is when things will begin to break loose on the NASDAQ and on the ES. Now, you could say, well, what are you smoking, Black Coffee Trader? It's already broken loose, and I get that. However, it has been very sluggish, and yesterday's very, very, how do I want to word this? Just the inability to break down, but neither the ability to go higher. It just feels like the market is tightening up, and it's waiting for something to happen for it to go one way or the other. And my assumption is, my thesis is that this is the issue. The Dow Jones daily moving average, the big daily 200, is the problem. And once we break that, we should be good to go. Russell, the moving averages, I think, are all sitting below. Nope, the daily 200 on the Russell is way up top, so we're still quite a ways away from that. The other moving averages are sitting below the daily 50, the daily 100, the daily 20, daily 100, daily 50 on the Russell. And on the Dow Jones, everything is below price except for the daily 200. And I think on ES, everything is below price. And that is the same for the NASDAQ, excuse me. So I think that's the big watch today is, will the Dow Jones break the daily 200? If we do, we're probably going to be in a free ride to the upside. Now, what does that upside look like? On the NASDAQ game plan today, if we get a pullback into this low of day from yesterday and this high area from the overnight on the 24th, that is definitely probably a good long. I'm a little bit cautious about it because of just how that chop has been. If we get a pullback here, it also means there's a high likelihood that we're not going to be above the daily 200 on the Dow Jones. So that's the thing that gives me a little bit of caution. So I might stick to, this area, this 490 area. You've got a bit of a reaction here on the NASDAQ. And this is an area that has some support from back in December and January on the 4-hour chart. We had a lot of reactions around this 500 area on the NASDAQ. So that's what leads to me to believe that this could be a pretty key area as well. So that's something to look for. And obviously, if we pull back to yesterday's high of day, and if we get something above and some of these upper levels that we've not broken recently, that definitely sets up break and retest longs to the upside. And again, if we get those moves higher, it means that we have probably broken that on the Dow Jones and we're above that daily 200. ES, very similar picture. The low of day from yesterday sitting at, this wick low. If we fall below that, we're definitely looking to probably look for downside. I'm in the same boat here. I'm cautious. If we get a move down to this area, I mean, this is a pretty key hold here around the 6140s. Again, like we couldn't really break that yesterday. We just had the little liquidity grab below it. So you would think, and typically if you get a pullback to here, you'd want to take longs. I'm cautious because of just how heavy that area was and the fact that the Dow Jones is really struggling to get above that 200. I think it can happen. I think the market has what it takes to push us above that, and we can probably go. But then again, I'm going to be cautious about that. I'm really probably looking for some cautionary shorts if we get down into these areas rather than longs for bounces off of it. I'm not saying I won't take it. We'll see what this market gives us today. But big picture would be break and retest longs off the high of day from yesterday or from some of these levels on above. And that obviously, if we break that, then we're moving above the 200 on the Dow Jones. We've rehashed the Dow Jones pretty well. You can probably see where I'm at with that. If we get a pullback to this area, this is a pretty key point here around the 43,290s. If we do get that, that's probably going to be a long today. And matter of fact, I should almost move that down. In fact, I think I will right below this area. I think that level should be moved down to about right there, right at those holds coming in. That's where we bounced off of here in the overnight. 42,267s basically. So looking for pullbacks to that point, which corresponds with this the area of resistance. So that's a pretty key. And again, this is the break and retest. You get resistance, and you flip it and you turn it to support. And that's really the move that you're looking for. So obviously the biggest move is getting above the daily 200. In fact, I'm probably not even going to take a long above yesterday's high until we break the daily 200. And if we break that and hold it, then we're definitely looking for upside. So that's the big watch today, is the daily moving average on the Dow Jones. Russell, I do like this. I like the fact, I don't know what caused the sell-off. Here we had a big straight up move and we gave that all back. Gaps like to get filled. But the fact that we bounced off of the Monday high, I really like that. That's a good sign on the Russell. If we get something above this area right here, I will definitely be looking to take a long. Again, that is also, I want to be careful and see what the Dow Jones does before we just go, diving into longs with, a lot of gusto this morning. So, but anyway, that's the big picture. If this thing falls apart, we're obviously looking to short back down into this area. Being careful about that. I don't like that chop zone. It does not do me much good typically. But the big watch is this Dow Jones daily moving average. What are we going to do with it, and do we get the upside today? As far as my accounts go today, we need a good day on the upper two. I've got very little drawdown left, so we'll be trying to get some profits on those today. But we trade our plan, and we don't worry about the P&L. And if we lose the accounts, we lose the accounts. We get some more and we go again. So obviously I don't like that. I don't want to be a cycle. I don't like to cycle through accounts. I like to hold on to accounts for a long time, and I typically can, but I've been struggling to get to a payout as of late. It's been several months since I've seen a payout, and so it's time to get one. But we're going to stick with the game plan, keep working at it, and go from there. So have a good day today. Trade well. Keep your head straight. And until next time, take care and so long.